Vivekchudamani, Chudamani, Chuda, crest, money, jewel, crest, jewel, Vivekchudamani. It is written by Bhagwan Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. It is one of the Prakarana Granthas or auxiliary texts of Vedanta. What it means is, for an aspirant, for a sadhaka, for a reader of Vedanta Darshana, the Upanishads specifically, there are certain texts which helps the aspirant understand them better. To understand Upanishads better, the Acharyas like Shankaracharya have written many books which help understand the concepts of Upanishads better. The first shloka which begins is Mangalacharana, invocation to the divine. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. I bow to Govinda, whose nature is bliss supreme. Govindam Param Anandam, who is the Sadguru. Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum. I bow to Govinda. Pranato Asmi Aham. I bow down to Govinda, who is of the nature of Param Ananda and who is Sadguru, who can be known, Gocharam, only from the import of all Vedanta. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta, Vedanta Siddhanta, import or the understanding, the knowledge of the Vedanta, Vedanta Siddhanta. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta, by that it is Gochar, by that it is known. Govinda, Paramananda, Sadguru can only be known by understanding Vedanta, and who is similarly, parallelly beyond the reach of speech and mind. So something to be known is a function of the mind, right? But something which is beyond mind and speech and text, that also, as it were, can be known from the Vedanta. It is like a rocket is moving through the atmosphere of the earth, and then it crosses a threshold and it moves beyond the field of gravity, and it moves with its own momentum. So something like that. The Vedanta Darshana helps us to reach a threshold, and then there is an escape, as it were, where speech, mind cannot reach, as if. Viveka means discrimination. Chuda is crest, money, jewel. Crest, jewel of Viveka. Hence, the title means crest, jewel of discrimination. Just as the jewel on the crest of a diadem is of the most conspicuous ornament of a person's body, so the present treatise is a masterpiece among works treating of discrimination between the real and the unreal. Now, Nitya and Anitya. What is Nitya and what is Anitya? What is real and what is unreal? To discriminate it constantly, it is not natural to us. Our tendencies do not discriminate naturally, so we require some support. So, certain works, certain books, certain texts, certain concepts, ideas are available. The masterpiece among them is, as it were, Vivekchudamani of Sri Shankaracharya. In this opening stanza, salutation is made to God Govinda or to the Guru in his absolute aspect. It may be interesting to note that the name of Shankara's Guru was Govinda Pada, and the shloka is ingeniously composed so as to admit of both interpretations. So Govinda can be God itself, who is Paramananda Swarup, who is the Sadguru in its absolute self. Or it can be interpreted Govinda, meaning Govinda Padacharya, Shankara's own Guru, who is of the nature of Paramananda and who is actually the Sadguru. So both interpretations can be admitted to be correct. Sadguru, literal translation is the highly qualified preceptor who perceives, highly qualified preceptor, and may refer either to Shankara's own Guru or to God Himself, who is the Guru of Gurus. Going to the next shloka, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabhamatah Punstvam Tato Vigrata Viprata Tasmat Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata Vidvat Twamasyamat Param Atma Anatma Vivechanam Swanubhavo Brahmatmana Sanstiti Muktirno Shatakoti Janmasu Krite Punyervina Labhyate Jantunam Narajanma Durlabhamata. What it means? For all beings, a human birth is difficult to obtain. Jantunam Narajanma Durlabha. Punstvam Tato. More so is a male body. Tato Viprata. Rarer than that is Brahminhood. Tasmat Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata. Rarer still is the attachment to the path of Vedika religion. Vidvat Tvam Vidvat Twamasmat Param. Vidvatvam Asmat Param. Higher than this is erudition in the scriptures. So, these two lines, Jantunam Narajanma, means of all the species, what is more difficult to obtain, and that is human birth. In human birth, what is more difficult to attain? That is male body. After attaining male body, what is rarer? That is Brahminical qualities. Among Brahmins, what is still rarer? That is attachment or inclination to the path of Vedika Dharma, those Brahmins who are inclined towards the Vedika Dharma, among them, what is higher and what is rarer still is erudition in the scriptures. Moving ahead, more rarer, that is Atma Anatma Vivekchudamani. So, what is more higher, more rarer? That is ability of discrimination, ability to discriminate between self and non-self. That means you have erudition in scriptures, but out of those erudite scholars who can at least intellectually discriminate between this self and that is not self, the real and the unreal, higher is Swa Anubhava. Higher than discriminative capacities is realization. And then Brahmatmana Sanstiti, and continuing in the state of identity with Brahman. So these are the gradations, upgradations, as if one after the another. Highest is continuing in a state of, so Brahmacharana, as if where a person is established and he is constantly in a state of identity with Brahman. He has become Brahman, he sees around himself that unity. These come next in order. So that is the Sanskriti. Now Muktir no Shata Janma Koti Sukriti. This kind of mukti is not to be attained. That means a person who has attained human birth and then a male body and then also become having Brahminical tendencies, who walks the path of Vedika Dharma, who has erudition in it, who has the discriminative capacity and actually has realized, and also a person finally who is constantly identified and walks in Brahman as it were, such a state cannot be attained except through well earned merits of 100 crores of birth. Such a mukti Shata Janma Koti Sukritai Punner Vina Labhyate. So, this is the second shloka.